Hey, what's up? Dave with Brazos Barbell. I wanted to make a video today about an issue that I think is pretty common with a lot of new lifters, and especially as people transition from other styles of lifting into powerlifting. So one of the most common things that people learn early on with their lifting, and it's a really good tool, is to touch lower with the barbell when they're bench pressing. And I'm gonna have a link in the description below on one of the videos that I made about why we should touch low and then how to flare and all of those kind of things. So I don't wanna go into all of that, but one of the common mistakes is that people dump the bar onto their chest at the very bottom. So this happens when people are trying to touch low and focus on the position of the barbell over a lot of the mechanics with the upper body and the shoulders, and specifically the elbows staying underneath the barbell. So when I say dumping, what I mean is that the barbell needs to stay stacked on top of your forearm or on top of your elbow in order to press the barbell back at your shoulders. If the barbell transitions too far over your elbow or your forearm towards your hips, then you'll never be able to get the barbell back on top of your shoulders, and you'll lose a lot of power off the chest. So the common areas that we see this happening, or the common reasons that we see this happening, would just be lack of control overall with the lifter. Is just on the way down, there's too much speed and the barbell kind of gets away from them. That one's easy to fix, obviously, is we just cue the control. The ones that are a little bit more common would be the common style where people sink the barbell a whole lot, especially in federations that allow the head to come up, the shoulders end up coming forward, and the whole process just ends up dumping the barbell, and then we lose a whole lot of power off the chest. Sometimes people get away with it, especially when they're doing a little bit of a softer touch, when the weight is really light. They really go for the high point of their chest, but then all of a sudden when the weight gets heavier and we lose the barbell isn't stacked anymore, it transitions just a little bit, it becomes infinitely harder to get the barbell off your chest. So this is a pretty easy fix, luckily. If you're missing the barbell off your chest, or if there's a big gap from, let's say, the maybe 80-85% loads to all of a sudden you're missing loads just above that, you were doing sets and reps with say you can do a hard set of 5 and you go a little bit heavier and you just can't seem to see what's happening, especially when you're missing off the chest, this may be a good reason. So some of the common exercises to help fix this would be a tempo bench press, where we have to learn to control the barbell through the entire range of motion, especially at the very bottom. You'll obviously feel if the barbell ends up getting out from on top of your base of support, and then at that point it's easy to correct. Sometimes the common or the easiest way to fix it is just touch a little bit higher. If you touch a little bit higher, then you won't find the need you won't be challenged quite so much to keep your elbows underneath it. Another way to do it is actually break your wrists back a little bit more. So that way your elbows can continue doing what they're doing, but we can stay stacked on top of the barbell or on top of your elbows a little bit better. I have another video on that I'll link below. So another really easy one is just transition to a softer touch bench press. So commonly people, if they're doing touch and go or hitting the bar kind of hard on their chest, they get away with it. And then if we're doing longer pauses and we're learning to sink, which I think is a very valuable tool, we can use a little bit of pop off our chest to get that bar back, but then we miss hard when it gets really heavy. So using something like a t-shirt press or a spoto press can be really, really useful tools in order to build with a strength off the chest, but just make sure that we have a good foundation and good stability down there at the bottom, and we're not just missing reps because we're doing something dumb. So it would be similar to, at the bottom of the squat, just leaning forward really hard and getting out on top of your toes, or the bar transitions away from your base of support in that way. So it's a very, very easy fix. And if this is something, if you're missing around your chest, this is probably a good thing for you to look at. So hopefully that video was helpful. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.